listening to the Cross'em Wrestling Entertainment Podcast.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to episode 37 of the Cross'em Wrestling Entertainment Podcast. 37 episodes. We are rolling along. Unfortunately, we are not joined by Noah today. He had some prior engagements he had to tend to, but I am your host, Tyler Bard, joined today by Dylan down in the bottom there, and Justin from the Nerds of Wrestling Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram, and the What's Up Wrestler podcast. Justin, first and foremost, how are you? Welcome on.
Hey, I'm doing very good. Thank you so much for having me on, man.
Yeah, I know you're doing big things over there on the Nerds of Wrestling. I remember being there when you had 10 people, and now how many people are on that Facebook page?
Close to like 6,200.
Yeah, it is absolutely great. I remember when we were on that push to just grow the page, and like in a month's time, we were at 1,000, and it was growing fast. And Dylan, of course, welcome back. Good to see you. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. Glad to be back.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we love having you guys on. It's a lot of fun to do these cross-promotional episodes where we have a bunch of different people on here sharing their opinions about Dynamite. We do want to remind everyone, though, we are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, on the Bard and Cross Entertainment page, and Twitch on my personal channel, the TBard5195 channel. You can find us anywhere that you find your favorite podcast. Please remember, though, that we are not a market substitute for AEW's Dynamite. Please go watch Dynamite live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. With that, it was another amazing episode of Dynamite. There were a few little duds, but I think overall this night went pretty solid. We had Hangman Page versus Ricky Starks to start the night, and it feels like they are starting off on a new direction with Hangman Page starting the night every single week. It's like, Hangman, you get out there, you start the show, and you got the rest of the night off. Good luck. That just seems to be the route they're going, and we have a chance for it to happen again next week. So we'll see if they keep with that theme, but it keeps on happening so far. So let's get started. The absolute Ricky Starks made his way to the ring, accompanied by Taz's son Hook, for his very first showdown with Hangman Adam Page. And they had a spread, by the way, going into this match that showed just how impressive both of these wrestlers have been in singles action. I did not realize just how good of a record Ricky Starks had in singles action. 10 in, what does it say? In 10 straight singles win, 10-1 in the last 11 overall matches for Ricky Starks. And Hangman has 8 straight singles win and a 12-match win streak. These two have been on an absolute tear. I didn't realize we make fun of Ricky Starks a lot, and I did not realize that he is doing nearly as good as he is doing. So you know what? I take it back a little bit. He's been doing all right. Page entered the match on a 12-win streak, like we said, while Starks rode an 8-match win streak into the event, meaning something would have to give in the opening contest of this week's broadcast. Page gained the early upper hand, delivering a springboard clothesline that knocked Starks from the apron to the floor. The apron's the hardest part of the ring, guys, just in case you didn't know that. That's the hardest part of the ring. It hurts a lot. Where Page followed with a tope. Page shook off a stare down with Hook and delivered a pump handle half Nelson fall away slam for 2. Starks fought his way back into the match, wearing Page down. An awkward landing, though, allowed Hangman to recover and deliver a brainbuster for another close 2 count. Starks nursed his left ankle injury, struggling to hoist Page up for a powerbomb, but absolutely managed to muscle him down for another near fall. That's a constant theme of this match. There were a lot of pinning attempts. Hangman met Absolute up top, rocking him with a right hand and delivering an avalanche fall-away slam from the top rope. He added a lariat, but Starks still managed to kick out at 2. Page tried for the buckshot lariat, but Starks ducked it and delivered a spear. Who, if you've seen Kyle on this show before, Kyle says it's the best spear in wrestling right now. We'll have to address that in a moment. An alert Page recovered, however, took over and tapped Starks out by grabbing the ankle and delivering a crossface. After the match, however, Taz cut a promo warning Page to watch his back. Hook attacked with a chop block, and Team Taz entered for a beatdown. But the Dark Order would make the save, standing tall with their friend to close out this segment. Not a bad way to start Dynamite. I think if this is going to be the theme, that it's just going to be Hangman taking all opponents at the top of the night instead of tags to start the match. I mean, I guess that's fine. I just thought this was a fairly well-paced match. I don't like the one where there's a billion pinfall attempts, though.
Right.
I'm not a fan to see a billion covers and kickouts. It becomes less believable, in my opinion. But Dylan, what do you think of this first match?
I like the first match. I think, as you said, Ricky Starks underrated in the win column. I didn't realize he had that many wins going into tonight. And I was looking
that's
forward.
Why they've carded it that way.
Yeah. I look forward to this match before it started. Announced last week. I'm like, it's got potential. I liked it.
Yeah. Good. What about you, Justin?
Same thing as you guys said. Ricky Starks, very underrated. He came to AEW. A lot of people thought he was a joke. And I also remember Ricky Starks from NWA. But yeah, he's doing his thing, and the singles match was very good. And I feel like with the way they're going with Hangman Page, they're gonna continue to have him, just do the opening matches and see how far that could go.
That's what it feels like, because they did announce again he has a match next week, once again against Team Taz, going up against Brian Cage. We'll see how this match plays out, but we'll leave that for a little bit later when we talk about the preview for next week. So overall, it seems we are in agreement. This was a pretty decent way to start the night, and it would lead into another match that some people were probably pretty excited for. We had Trent versus Penta. I didn't know how to feel about this right off the bat, so let's just get into it and we'll talk about it on the other side. The best friends Trent battled Death Triangle's Penta El Zero Miedo in the night's next bout. Trent, riding a wave of momentum after his return 3 weeks ago, wiped his masked foe out at ringside with a tope con hilo. Penta, rocking a sweet Batman-inspired mask, seized control, entering the picture-in-picture commercial break. He talked trash to Orange Cassidy, who was there supporting his friend, and bragged alongside his buddy Alex. I always have trouble saying his last name. Is it Abrahantes? Alex Abrahantes.
There you go.
I feel like the announce team doesn't even say it the same way every time, so I'm okay with getting away with it. Back from the timeout, however, Trent rocked Penta with a running knee strike, scoring a count of 2 off of the burst of offense. Penta shook it off and delivered a pump handle driver from Furtu, despite dumping Trent on his head. A nasty fall, by the way. The best friend answered with an apron pile driver. It's the hardest part of the ring, and then added a spear onto the floor. Abrahantes grabbed a microphone and said, Trent's friends suck, and so does his mother. I was like, wow, that was unnecessary.
Wow.
That's just rude. You can't talk about Trent's mom like that. She drives a really cool van. How dare you? So he says his mother sucks. So, of course, Trent chased him. And after a failed interference from Cassidy, he ran right into a shot to the face from the microphone from Alex. This led to a package pile driver from Penta that put Trent away, earning Penta the victory. It's two guys who are very good. And we all know, we've seen them in the ring do incredible matches, especially Penta. Nothing against Trent, but Penta, I think, is one of the top 5 wrestlers in AEW right now.
In the world.
Honestly, anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all seen him live, too, when he came to Northeast Wrestling. So we've seen what he can do. And he is an incredible wrestler. This match just felt kind of hokey. It was just a spot match with interference, and they're making it. I almost feel like they're making Penta weak with the way that they're letting him win these matches. Like, he needs interference to win a match. Justin, could you shed some light on that?
Yeah, he doesn't need it. He does not need interference to win. Maybe just the way the match was going. They didn't see him. I don't know. I mean, okay, so. Dylan, you go first. I got something I gotta say. You put me on the spot there.
You were expecting to be second, weren't you?
Yes.
All right, Dylan, take it away.
For looking weak, I mean, if we're gonna make that argument, do you think Kenny Omega looks weak? Obviously, he's the world champ.
I mean, that's true.
That's a character.
But he's the world champ. He's gonna have cronies and stuff.
No, I get it. My complaint with Penta right now is that Penta's in Death Triangle, and every week that either of those trios appear, they're not together.
Right.
I don't know what's going on with it. And Penta seems very heel-like right now. Ray and Pac seem really face-like right now, and I'm not really sure what they're doing.
Yeah, it is a little bizarre because last week we unfortunately missed an episode of CWE, and there was the moment where Ray was unmasked by the Bucks, so they're definitely more of a face than the Bucks are. So I don't know. One's super heel, one's like Jericho level of like, is he a heel? Is he not a heel? What is he? He's just neutral, maybe. So I see what you're saying there. What are you thinking, Justin?
I mean, Dylan said it. I mean, if the way they're going with Penta to be a heel, then that's the way they're gonna put. That's the way they're gonna have him go over in a match. By needing to cheat to win.
Right. That microphone shot. Ugh. It was not clean either. It was like,
right.
Ooh,
yeah, I was like,
oh, that didn't hit at all.
Yeah.
No, please, no, don't let him. He lost.
but oh no, that's it. But I feel like that's the direction they're going. Maybe they'll just say a one-time try, like, hey, let's try this, see if this works, see how this goes over.
No one's gonna boo him. Everyone loves him. So, I mean, whatever they do with him is going to be fine. It's not like the Bucks, where the Bucks have to be perfect or everyone's going, boo! Yeah. It's the show ponies. Like, they have to literally be perfect for people to actually like them. Exactly. Same with Kenny. They don't get that Moxley treatment. Moxley could literally, like, light someone on fire and go to prison, and they'd be like, what? He didn't do it! Yeah. He's fine! Free my man! But this Penta seems to have a similar treatment. Hashtag free Moxley. Oh man, you know what? That would be nice if Mox was around, because then he could potentially somehow get involved in this kind of mess up. Would choose sides here. Jim Ross had a sit-down interview with the Pinnacle, which I thought was going to get a little more toxic than it did, and it was shocking that Wardlow was the one who actually had the best part of this entire moment. I didn't know this man could talk. So it was surprising to see him have a good moment. JR would interview the Pinnacle. He sat down ahead of Blood and Guts, which is coming to us on May 5th. Wardlow credited Jericho for cutting one of the best promos of his career last week, until he mentioned his name. The second he mentioned his name, he started stuttering and stammered his lines because he knew uttering Wardlow's name was a mistake. That line was awesome. It literally called out exactly, probably the only flub that was in Jericho's amazing promo 2 weeks ago. So well done, Wardlow, for calling out one of Jericho's mistakes. I think even Jericho will probably give him a pat on the back for that one. That was very well done. MJF would follow, however, saying that Jericho surrounds himself with B's so he can look like an A, and then he wrestles A's so he doesn't look like a B. He denounced the idea that he's great for 25, exclaiming that he's great, period. He said he's coming for Jericho's spot at Blood and Guts, and with his family, he's going to take it. Very straightforward message from MJF and the Pinnacle. They are no longer messing around and hiding in locker rooms. They are sick of the way that the Inner Circle is talking about them. I guess we can make early predictions. We're going to do predictions at another episode. But when we finally get to see these guys go head-to-head at Blood and Guts, even though this is for the parlay, who's going to come out on top here? It's a war of the words right now. But are you convinced by the Pinnacle, Dylan?
Man, this is such a toss-up. I feel like the Inner Circle doesn't need the win. So that's where, like, I feel like the Pinnacle can grow from this, and MJF can keep that I could be world champ feel.
Okay.
The same point, Inner Circle is a well-oiled machine, and they easily could win. I thought they were going to win last year's when this was supposed to happen, and we saw the stadium match where they didn't win. So it's a toss-up.
Yeah, what do you think, Justin?
Same thing he just said. Inner Circle, they don't need it. They don't need the win. If they're really trying to push MJF and the Pinnacle, you got to put them over. My prediction is the Pinnacle.
Yeah, I think you guys are on the right track there, that they're trying to build this new faction, and that MJF really right now kind of feels like AEW's guy. Yeah. Where it's behind Darby. Like, Darby is the guy, but I would say that MJF is the one they're really, really building right now to be the face and potentially be the one who gets that strap over his shoulder eventually, which would be awesome, by the way. I can only imagine MJF versus Kenny. Ooh, I need that. I need that match in my life.
Imagine that pop. Imagine that pop MJF is going to get when he wins that title.
Oh, man, because you're going to get the haters. You're going to get the haters, of course. I think he has as many fans as he has haters.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think it is
more.
pretty even the way it goes for him. His Facebook feed is my favorite thing in the world.
Oh,
because it's either people who are just like, "Oh, you're the best," or like, "Oh, you fucking suck." So there's literally no in between where someone's like, "Oh, he's okay." It's you have
there is no in between.
Either side. So when he's a face, everyone's gonna love him. When he's a heel, everyone's gonna love him. I hope he's never a face personally, because heel MJF is great. He literally goes to high five children and pulls his hand away. It's the greatest thing in the world. Every time a child wants a signature, he closes his stand. It's incredible. This guy is the best working heel in the last however many years. He don't care. That's a conversation for another podcast.
Debatable.
But
that could be a debate. Yeah,
he is definitely one of the best. I just realized I never changed the thing. Oops, there we go. JR in the pinnacle. But yeah, MJF is just one of the best things on TV right now, and I think he's right. He's not one of the best for 25. He's just one of the best. And I think I'm with you guys. I got to take the pinnacle. But moving on along, we had what I think I am going to call match of the night. We had HIKARU Shida versus Tai Conti for the AEW Women's Championship belt. Tai Conti has spent the last 2 months developing into the hottest athlete in AEW's women's roster, earning herself a championship opportunity against HIKARU Shida on Wednesday night, the match between mutually respected competitors. And they are friends. If you guys didn't know that, anyone who is watching who may not know much about these two, they are friends. They've helped each other many times in the past when they were being attacked. So it was definitely one where it was two friends fighting. There was a lot of respect there. The match between mutually respected competitors saw Shida overwhelm and out-wrestle her opponent early and often heading into the commercial break. Conti exploded, however, with a burst of offense, dropping the champion high on her shoulders with a suplex. A pair of corner boots stunned the champion, and a kick across the midsection had the challenger rolling. With Shida draped across the top rope, Conti delivered a senton, driving her into the mat. Shida fought out of the hammerlock DDT and delivered a jumping knee strike. The champ added a Falcon Arrow for a 2 count as the challenger showed considerable resilience. On the ropes, however, Shida delivered the Witch's Shot, dropping Conti out of a fireman's carry across the top. Conti recovered, however, stunning Shida with a knee strike and then applied the TKO. I actually thought this might be it. She tried for the DDT, but Shida countered into a pinfall attempt for 2. Shida followed with a fireman's carry into a backbreaker and then delivered a knee to the face for the win. After the bell, Dr. Britt Baker appeared on the stage, revealing that she is now the undisputed #1 ranked woman in the division. I don't understand how Britt Baker is overrated, personally, in my opinion.
No. I want to take over. I got to take
over. You watch
over
your mouth
Noah.
right there. She's not overrated. Britt Baker is amazing. So watch it.
I'll take over for Noah here. As we can see, #1 rated, the best women's wrestler in AEW right now, Britt Baker, DMD. It's coming. Whenever the next pay-per-view is, I'd imagine that's when that's going to happen. I imagine it's going to be
they have not hyped up literally anyone as much as Britt Baker.
Exactly.
So they're like, just so you know, Shida's reign is ending next time they fight. They literally have put that one on paper.
It's over.
I will not celebrate any harder than if Britt Baker loses her title shot, because I think she's just super overrated. And I think someone like Tay Conti or Anna Jay or someone like that deserves the title before she does.
That's the future. That's the future.
Yeah. You're so lucky I'm not running the show right now. Your ass right out.
Listen, anyone who has any form of relation to Adam Cole gets canceled.
Oh my god, Adam Cole's the best thing going in NXT.
That's it. No, listen, I can't allow it. He was mean to Pat McAfee, and that's that.
Oh my god,
Pat McAfee # best wrestler on NXT. Except now he's on SmackDown. Now he's a
commentator.
But he was the best thing going last year. That NXT's ratings went way up when Pat McAfee was on the show.
I'm not going to discredit that, but he was facing one of the best wrestlers.
It wasn't because of Adam Cole. I'll say that. It was that punt kick that knocked the teeth out of Adam Cole. Good thing his girl's a dentist, huh? Good thing, because those teeth came falling right out. But yeah, obviously this match was incredible. You got two women in the ring who can really, really go and hang in there with the best. I would say these two women could easily have an intergender match and hold their own against the guys that they're fighting. So absolutely loved what they were doing there. But I also absolutely love what we are doing here at Clovercrest Media. We have a few commercials we want to run for you guys, and we'll be back on the other side of the break. Stay tuned.
Clovercrest Media Group presents a CMG podcast. Keys to the City.
Keys to the city, baby. When you see us, so you know.
Crossed up by Kobe, roll floated to Shaq, and then Shaq goes like this, and the rest is history. Pay attention. Don't tell me what to do, Devil Woman. But speaking of those Lakers, but I hold on, stun. But I didn't make my. I didn't make my. I said Denver's gonna win. Yeah, you did. You said that. There's no other show like that. Clovercrest is doing great things right now.
Streaming everywhere.
The Closing Time Podcast is back, sponsored by Rocky Hill Accountants. I'm Joe Aguirre. I'll have a brand new co-host, Sanam Salati, who's my broker, my mentor, and my good friend, and one of the most knowledgeable people in Connecticut in the entire real estate industry. We're going to be talking about the latest goings-on. We'll keep you up to date on the market, and we're going to bring on some really great guests all throughout this season, people in all different fields in the industry, like accountants, home inspectors, mortgage reps, and so much more, just to give you a better understanding of the Connecticut real estate market. We're so excited for a brand new season of the Closing Time Podcast, part of the CMG Podcast Network. It's sponsored by Rocky Hill Accountants. Go see Heidi and Glenn Parchman to file your taxes for bookkeeping, business advice, real estate investments, or whatever your accounting needs are, including cryptocurrency. Just visit RockyHillAccountants.com. We'll see you all season long on the Closing Time Podcast.
Welcome to Ivy League Murders. On this podcast, we focus on cases affiliated with the Ivy League, exploring the darker side of higher education. What happens when genius becomes evil? My name is Sarah Alcorn. I'm a Harvard graduate, and I've been a private investigator since 1999. Join me and longtime crime diva Laura McDonald for Ivy League Murders.
I'm gonna get it right one day. Hey, remember how many times you used to do the messages for your voicemail? It goes something like this. What's going on, everyone? Thanks for locking into another episode of I'll Piss You Up Shortly. This is the podcast where we debate everyday issues, pushing your thought process beyond what's normal. The topics discussed here are meant to be intense, promote growth, and at times may have you feeling a little bit uncomfortable. Me too, a little bit. We may not always agree, and we will more than likely have varied opinions. But with that being said, I can't promise to be your favorite podcaster. Neither do I want to. But I can promise to be transparent, fair, and open-minded. So please, if you think you've got the stamina, passion to debate, analyze, and challenge the normal, please take a number. I promise you, I'll piss you off shortly.
Oh, Ray. This could still be a dub for you, though, if we pull this off, and I'm very high up.
Rando fell too.
Rando's out?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't see that either. The other dude doesn't have much land left.
Got it.
Oh, there we go.
Dub peace. With a dub to end of the stream.
With
Hell
1
yes.
minute left.
There you go.
1 minute
Good
left
stuff.
in our time, right before the time run. So that is some of the content you can find here at Clovercrest Media, along with an ad or a clip from my Twitch stream that was on Friday. We did a 12-hour stream to give back to everybody else who got me to 200 followers on Twitch now, and we are up to 253 as of Friday. So community's growing. You guys have been great and so helpful. And the next goal is 500. So when we reach 500 followers, we are going to do a 16-hour stream. This is the announcement for it right here. This is the first time I'm saying it out loud. There will be an announcement in the Discord. We're going to do 16 hours, and I'm thinking we might maybe do a tournament. I think I want to host a Fall Guys tournament for some of the other community members that I have befriended. So you might see some Fall Guys over there. Maybe we'll do some wrestling. Maybe we'll do some baseball. Who knows? Who knows? There's still a lot of time before that's going to happen. But just remember, you can find us streaming live on that Twitch account, as well as Facebook, YouTube on the Bard and Cross Entertainment page, and on Twitch, it's tbard5195. You can also find us wherever you find your favorite podcasts. So wherever you find those podcasts, just look it up. You can find the Baseball with the Bard, the Cross and Wrestling Entertainment podcast, and any other podcast from the Clovercrest Media. We also want to remind you that we are not a market substitute for AEW's Dynamite. So please make sure you go watch Dynamite live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where they are alone. NXT ran and hid on Tuesday nights to get away from AEW. So they have been doing very well, by the way. If we want to talk about that for a moment, their first show alone last week, they pulled in 1.4 million views. This week was a little bit lower, which I'm not shocked. I imagine this is about where they're going to hover, if not a little bit lower. They hit about 1.1 million viewers, but NXT, you ain't breaking a mill. What's going on, boys? Everyone all right over there? Everyone okay? What's up with the program?
They're not even breaking a million. That's crazy.
No, they went. So when they were warring and the two were on the same night, NXT was usually around like 600,000 to 800,000. That was around where they would go 800,000 on a really good night. NXT and AEW would hit like 7 to 9. That was where you'd probably find them. So it was close. It was. You could tell it was obviously very split. But dear God, it has proven which one people were more interested in, because in the primetime hours of the shows, AEW has taken over, and they are killing it. For their first 2 shows, they're up over 1 million. So up bigger and brighter things. Now it's who we go after now? Friday night. All right, Friday night SmackDown. You're next on the list. Coming for you.
They'll go after Raw.
I mean, that's fair because SmackDown's WWE's best content right now. So we can leave SmackDown alone for now. Raw, we're coming for you.
Yeah.
Please make that better.
But speaking about coming for you, we had some response from the Inner Circle in accordance to what was said earlier on in the night. The Inner Circle was responding to what the Pinnacle had said on their little interview. Very short segment, but the Inner Circle joined Tony Schiavone in the ring for a rebuttal following the Pinnacle's promo earlier in the night. Jake Hager vowed to make sure that their rivals are left sucking their dinners through straws. Santana called the Pinnacle's actions bitch moves, and Chris Jericho cut a lengthy promo that included an impromptu show tune. Yeah, probably shouldn't have done that. Didn't go well. Before issuing a challenge for a parlay between the factions on next week's show. Very short, very sweet. It was nowhere near as good as the last one was, but the show tunes, oh boy, I don't know if you guys have an opinion on how those show tunes went, but I liked when they did the Le Dîner Debonair, and this was just not even close. Yes, we're doing a 16-hour stream, Dan. That's correct. Yes. And yes, we did almost get an infallible for my friend Rapids here. If you don't know what that is, you can come tune in and Twitch and watch that. And Dan makes a good point here. People usually don't watch TV live anymore. The majority of the people will watch the recaps, or they will watch it when it's recorded on their DVR. So the numbers like that, we can't really take into account, but we're still winning. So I'm gonna take it as a dub. So the Inner Circle responded. I don't think it was really that much stronger than what the Pinnacle said. They kind of maybe matched it. If not, it was a little less intimidating than what the Pinnacle had to say. So I don't know if you guys have much to say. Justin, what do you think about this?
I just want to say the same thing going into their match at Blood and Guts. Inner Circle doesn't need the win. Pinnacle needs it. Inner Circle does not need to cut a legendary promo to get the points across. We already know how good they are cutting their promos. We all know how good they are of wrestlers they are all together. So they just went in, made their point across, and that was it. Pinnacle's brand Pinnacle is a faction that's just starting, so they kind of need to get their rise up. But as single wrestlers in that faction, we already know how good they are with doing what they have to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Dylan, I imagine you agree with that.
Yeah, keep it short and sweet. Not much to say here.
Yeah, no, that's. I think we're all pretty much on the same page as it pertains to that. But here's a match that you could have seen in 1989. We got Billy Gunn versus Billy Gunn versus QT Marshall, everyone's two favorite wrestlers on the roster. Very excited for this one. Just kidding. I just wish QT would stay as more of a managerial. I know he can still go, and so can Billy. But if QT could just let his boys go a little bit more, I would be much happier with that. But let's talk about the match. The rivalry between the Nightmare Family and the Factory continued this week as QT Marshall, accompanied by Anthony Ogogo, Nick Camarado, and Aaron Solo, battled Billy Gunn, who was joined by his sons Colton and Austin. Gunn dominated early, battering Marshall around the ringside area as the commentary team denounced the actions and attitudes of Marshall in recent weeks. Cody Rhodes' former friend took control of the match, however, and even delivered a big pile driver, but he could not put his opponent away. A disrespectful crotch chop sparked a babyface comeback by Gunn, who downed Marshall and appeared to have things in favor until Ogogo reappeared and delivered a cheap shot to the ribs. A diamond cutter to the hobbled Gunn earned Marshall the victory. So once again, these heels had to cheat to win, but I was more impressed with what happened after the match was over. After the match, Ogogo gave his mentor a wooden chair. Dustin Rhodes rushed to the ring to break up the beatdown. Rhodes cleared his former tag team partner out before breaking the chair over the head of Camarado, who no-sold it like an absolute monster. And I don't mean no-soul in a bad way. I'm not saying that he no-sold a wrestling move that has put people down for years. It didn't faze him. He took a wicker chair to the head and it just exploded and he did nothing. He was like, yeah, who hit me? It's like that old SpongeBob episode from when we were younger, who hit me with that piece of paper? Like, that's literally what it felt like. Like, he just did not even budge. And I mean, is he in that picture? Where was that picture I just had up? Just look at him.
Yeah.
He's terrifying.
Monster.
He is an absolute monster. And I think that was a big moment for him to show that he is not one to be messed with. Justin, what did you think of this?
I could care less about this match, honestly.
Yeah, it really didn't matter, but I think it's good to help grow these three new guys.
Right. Yeah. Oh, no, 100%.
Yeah. Dylan, do you like where the direction they're going with QT Marshall, or do you think this is a really ridiculous storyline?
For the process of bringing these three guys in and saying, here's these three new guys, let's shine a little light on them, I think that's good. I'm not a big fan of QT Marshall. I kind of wasn't feeling him since he came in. I didn't
like him anyways.
Yeah,
before, even when he was with Dustin Rhodes.
So for me, anything QT Marshall kind of a turn off for me. I'd rather not. But I mean, the spot after the match.
That was awesome.
That was awesome. The way the chair just explodes over his head. And he just looks even more menacing after. I'm like, that's it right there.
I mean, even Brock Lesnar sells chair shots.
Yeah.
Like, even the one he barely sold when Matt Hardy. I don't know if you guys remember this. When Matt and Jeff Hardy attacked him with chairs way back. It was like 2004. And they hit him in the head. Like, literally, you know, usually they'll put the arm up for a chair shot. Just right off of his forehead. He even sold that. What's that, Justin?
No, so that spot he no-sold the chair shot. A lot of people might be pissed off about it, but I'm a big fan of no-sells to a certain extent. But I'm not mad about that
for
chair
monsters.
Shot
Yeah. And that's what he is. You think Braun Strowman would have sold that? Hell no. That would have been a chair shot. He would have been like, do it again.
Honestly, but yeah, hey, you know that it was the perfect time to show how big of a monster he is, and like you said, he is not one to be messed with.
Yeah, no, I think that was honestly the reason they were using QT maybe was to just show that he is untouchable with this faction, that this faction is more of a threat than the Nightmare Family could ever be. And it's definitely setting up for another faction versus I think we got enough factions. Can we cut it out?
Yeah, we really
AEW, we've got plenty. Like, tag teams are fine, but dear Lord, when you add that third and fourth and fifth and
seventh,
it's enough.
And there's 30. Not even like trios titles to go after, so I'm not even sure why.
Like, if you were to pull up the Nightmare Family on first thing you type, there's like 60 of them.
Yeah.
So just any moment, someone could literally join in this and be like, "Oh, I'm in this match." By the way,
that's just from Cody's.
Yeah, from the school.
Yeah, the school. So
Well,
I mean,
I guess
obviously,
technically Hook is part of the Nightmare family. So I mean, he gets the call at any time. He has to. I guess he has to lace up his boots for the Nightmare family. So
right.
But this led into another match where I was like, "What? Are you insane?" Christian Cage accepting a match against Powerhouse Hobbs. I was like, "This is gonna be an absolute squash." A little pleasantly surprised, actually. Prior to the next match of the night, however, cameras caught up with the AEW World Champion Kenny Omega, the Good Brothers, and AEW Tag Champs, the Young Bucks, and Don Callis in a remote location. Before they could say much of substance, John Moxley and Eddie Kingston would interrupt. They damaged the Elite's trailer, but the heels had escaped before they could get their comeuppance. So another run-in with Mox and Kingston and the Elite. It is definitely an interesting storyline, but not much substance to it right now. As we get back to the match, however, Christian Cage wrote the latest chapter in his rivalry with Team Taz on Wednesday, battling Powerhouse Hobbs in single competition. The veteran competitor found himself on the defensive entering the commercial, and not just the commercial, most of the match, overcome by his massive opponent's strength and size advantage. Cage fought his way back into the match, escaping Hobbs' grasp and delivering a powerbomb out of the corner. Yes, a powerbomb out of the corner. He scaled the ropes and delivered a frog splash for a 2 count as Hobbs demonstrated his toughness. Hobbs, recovering, delivered a running hip check to the corner for a very close 2. The aggressor, however, let his ego get the best of him, stopping short of a running power slam to showboat. Cage was able to slither out of his grasp again, this time dropping right behind him into the perfect setup for a kill switch and the win. Ricky Starks came to his teammates' aid after the match, staring Cage down as the segment came to an end. So we see, even though he got his ass handed to him, Christian Cage, the wily veteran, managed to pull off a win against Powerhouse Hobbs. I think that actually really hurts Powerhouse Hobbs. I would have much preferred a disqualification there because I think Team Taz needs to look a lot stronger than they look right now. They have been looking very weak, and how he's doing this thing like join Team Taz. If you join Team Taz, you've got nothing to Where is the nothing to worry about? This team looks weak, except apparently Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks is apparently the only one who can get anything done. And Hook looks good, except for that time where he was not actually kicking anyone when he was trying to join in on the Stampede. But, you know, we don't worry about that. He's green. Let him be. He's like 19. But yeah, they put on a very slow match, in my opinion, and it was just a methodical beatdown by Hobbs that ended in a unceremonious kill switch to end it. What do you think about these kind of matches, Dylan? Do you think this hurts Hobbs like I do?
You see, I think you're misinterpreting the whole storyline behind Team Taz right now. I think they're falling apart as we speak.
Well, sure.
You got the whole Brian Cage kind of turning face move, and now he's arguing with them every week in the promos. They aren't getting along. So I think in the near future, that's going to split. All these losses are going to start hurting their egos, and then they're just going to fight each other. And whoever stays with Taz can stay with Taz, but there is going to be an eventual breakup there.
Yeah, definitely.
For the match, I mean, Christian Cage has proven he can still go.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people kind of discredited him till he had his match with Kazarian. I thought that was a very good match.
It was.
And I mean, this is kind of how you got to do this match. I mean, Christian Cage is a veteran who's facing a monster in Powerhouse Hobbs.
Yeah, just got to wait for that one moment.
Right. I mean, he had his small flurries here and there, but that's the way to win the match if you're Christian Cage.
What do you think, Justin?
Exactly what Dylan said. I want to let you know I texted every single word he just said to him, so he took all that from me.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Dylan knocked it out of the park. I mean, it's not the first time we've seen a match like that where we saw an upset from a smaller guy beat a bigger guy. You think like Team Taz needs that win. They need to keep pushing their guys. But yeah, I do feel like they're falling apart. And Christian, I mean, it wasn't an upset at all. I mean, yeah, Christian won. He won fair and square.
He did win fair and square. I just feel like Hobbs continuing to lose is an issue, in my opinion.
Who else has he lost to?
I feel like he never wins is the problem. Anytime we see the dude on TV, even if he's in the tag, he loses by not being pinned. It's someone else who gets takes the pin.
I'm kind of used to him not being in the match. That's kind of his loss.
He just kind of
at the sideline.
Fair enough.
He's better off not in a faction. Maybe like
imagine that.
I think having him in a faction is kind of knocking you down.
Yeah, I agree. And yes, I do radio, Dan. Thank you for noticing. It's a once in a while thing, but not all the time. You can hear me on WATR from time to time. But yes, I do the radio. And hello to our friends over on Twitch. AJ using the emotes. God, why could I not find that name? So remember, you can join the conversation on Facebook or YouTube or Twitch. You can let us know your opinions on everything we're talking about right now, and we'll put you on. So make sure what you type doesn't have any errors, or I'm gonna call you out for it. You got to come on here and handle the heat.
Yep,
we're having fun over here.
Correct.
That's right. It better be perfect because we're all perfect in this world, right? No mistakes.
Correct.
No mistakes. Next, we had the main event of the TNT Championship match: Darby Allin versus the Jungle Boy. Let me pull that picture up. There it is. I was very excited for this match. I have been, Dylan knows because he's been on the show a little bit more than you, Justin. I am a big fan of Jungle Boy. He's probably my favorite wrestler on the AEW roster. If I had to pick absolutely one, and then John Silver, because Johnny Hungy, Johnny Hungy. So how could you not be a fan of that? But this match again, another incredible match as TNT champion Darby Allin and Jungle Boy came to the center of the ring for their main event match. Excalibur put over the idea that for the first time, the former is battling a competitor every bit as fast and agile as him. Stylistically, it is the most similar opponent that Allin has defended his title against to this point. Allin escaped Jungle Boy's snare trap submission and out of frustration, took his opponent down and fired away with a flurry of rights. He sent Jungle Boy spine first into the ring post, but the challenger responded by taking the champion over the guardrail and out to the floor. The intensely physical battle continued through the break, with Jungle Boy uncorking 2 tope suicidas, followed by a tope con hilo to flatten Allin. The champion fought back and responded with a coffin drop onto the ring apron, driving the air out of the challenger. Luchasaurus would assist Jungle Boy back into the ring, preventing a count. This was a controversial moment. I don't know about how you guys feel about this. You know, you're not supposed to get involved in the match, but you see teammates on the outside constantly helping people up to their ring. But it seemed like the announcers made it like, you can't touch him, or the match is over. And I don't know that to ever be a thing, but Luchasaurus would assist Jungle Boy back into the ring, preventing that count out. Earning the ire of Sting. Sting was not happy about this, coming face to face with the prehistoric luchador, and a brawl between the two of them ensued. They fought each other to the back of the ring, back of the house, by the way. So they were no longer a part of this. Back in the ring, the competitors exchanged hard, open hands until Jungle Boy downed the champion and added a running knee to the back of the head for a near fall. The challenger locked in the snare trap, but Allin somehow made it to the ropes. This is another moment. He made it look like he was going to tap out. Yeah. I thought for a second there, Darby was gone. Jungle Boy then would trap him in the surfboard, and then that surfboard also looked like it hurt so bad. He hit it so hard on Darby, and then once again locking in the snare trap. Darby, however, yanked the hair and gouged the eyes to break the hold. Jungle Boy peppered Allin with palm strikes, but the champion trapped him in the Last Supper for a pinfall victory, escaping narrowly. He was very close to losing that match, in my opinion, but still your champion, Darby Allin. After the match, however, Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page finally showed their cowardice faces, delivering an ego's edge to Allin. Lance Archer made the save, but then suffered a beatdown until Sting reemerged and chased off the heels. A pretty electric way to end Dynamite. I thoroughly enjoyed this match too. The 2 title matches on this night were both A+ matches, in my opinion. The women did an incredible job. The men in this match did an incredible job. And Darby Allin continues to prove why he deserves to be champion. Just takes one moment, one screw up in the opponent, and he gets the win. Justin, how did you like this match?
Loved it. Absolutely loved. Excuse me, loved it. They're not taking that title off of Darby at all. They're going to keep that on him for quite some time.
Yeah, no, he is proven it. And that final, what was it called? The Last Supper pinfall. Oh, that was so beautiful.
And
he just
we all
rolled him right over.
And we all saw Darby wrestle in person numerous amount of times, and we know how he can go.
Insane, man.
He's so
that
good.
guy will take a bump on glass. He don't care. He will literally fall into a lava pit and get back up. He is one of the craziest wrestlers I've ever seen wrestle live.
100%.
Dylan, what'd you think of this?
Yeah, I have to agree. Both of you guys. This match was really good. Jungle Boy, at numerous points, I actually thought he had this in his bag right there. When he almost tapped, I genuinely was at the edge of my seat. Like, is he about to? You sold it well. And yeah, to agree with your point, where one mess up, one mistake, he get that Last Supper in, and that's all she wrote. I like that.
Yeah. Good, Dylan. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
We have someone on YouTube right now that is going by Promoter of the Year Tony Khan that says, "Greetings, gentlemen. Lovely to see AEW is doing well with the fans. Punk versus Joe is in the guys. You heard it first here.
You heard it here first.
Punk versus Joe is in the works for AEW. Uncle Dave is acting as my consultant. Don't know what I do with that. Promoter of the Tony Khan. Thank you. I'm such a big fan. Oh,
breaking news!
How exciting! Oh, did you sign him? Did you sign them both? Oh my God, how exciting!
Oh my
is
God,
that,
I
guys?
can't believe Tony Khan just commented on her.
Tony Khan. Holy cow. And for all of you wondering if your messages pop up on the podcast, not every message will always pop up, especially you guys are coming in here today. But the ones that apply to what we were talking about, we will definitely pull up on the screen all the time. Or, I mean, it's AJ, so of course we got to say hi and hello. Of course, I'm always right, Gina. Thank you so much. So whatever I'm saying is correct at all times.
Sure, Gina.
So see, guys, we have lots of fun. Promoter of the Year, Tony Khan. Thank you for coming in here so much. Thank you for breaking that news here. I'm going to write an article about it and claim that it's real because look right here. It says it right here. Punk versus Joe, Promoter of the Year, Tony Khan. It's it. It's official. Going to be Punk versus Joe. Oh man, what a match that would be, huh? Can we just talk about how exciting that would be if suddenly Cult of Personality played? Dear Lord, that would be exciting, but it's not going to happen, guys. But just imagine. I mean, Tony Khan said it is, so maybe. No, I'm kidding. But overall, guys, that was a very good episode. We had some duds of the night, and not even like the match itself was a dud, just the way it ended was kind of a dud. But ultimately, the storylines definitely grew. I think I'd give this like 3.5, 4 stars on the night. Do you agree, Dylan?
Yeah, I'd go right in between and say 3.7 and just block that.
Yeah, 3.7, pretty just over average night. Would you agree, Justin?
Yeah, 4 stars.
4 stars. Yeah, I mean the 2 title matches made it. Could put it right up to there. If I went to a house show and those were the 2 matches, if those were the 2 best matches, I'd say it was a 4-star night. So they absolutely killed it. But let's talk about a little preview coming for 7/28. There were rumors that we might get the Nightmare Family versus what the heck are they calling themselves now? QT Marshall's little band of misfit toys. It's going to be, they might face each other, but no, I haven't seen any graphics for it, but there is a rumor that might happen. So let's just talk about the ones that are already planned. We have Penta El Zero Miedo versus Alex. Good job, guys. Abrahantes at ringside versus Orange Cassidy with Trent. So we are going to get that match. That should be another good one. Hopefully no major interferences, but we've got 2 very gimmicky wrestlers here right now. One that is a very gimmicky heel and one that is just a breathing, walking, talking gimmick. So should be an interesting match. We then will have KRIS Statlander versus Orange Cassidy, although that would probably be hype as hell. KRIS Statlander with Orange Cassidy versus Penelope Ford with Kip Sabian. 2 incredible women's wrestlers in the ring against each other. This should be a very decent match. I have a feeling that this might be the men get involved in this match, and this is where Miro finally reappears and comes out and makes a presence by attacking Kip Sabian and setting off on his own. We'll see. We've got the Young Bucks versus Matt and Mike Sydal for the AEW World Tag Team Champion. Wasn't this match already supposed to have happened? Did it get canceled for some reason? I feel like this match definitely was planned like a month ago. So I definitely am interested in seeing this one. What do you guys think about this match, Justin?
It's going to be great. I feel like this is a match a lot of people are waiting for, but the Bucks are going to retain.
Guys, he's back. Oh, reading Vince Russo voice. It's kayfabe, bro. I love that. You can come. Can you come to every podcast, please? Just get in here, Tony Khan. We want to have you in here. We love seeing promoter Tony Khan in here.
Oh,
absolutely great. Love it. This is great. Then we have this moment here, the Inner Circle. It's the parlay with the Pinnacle. Next week, they're going to meet in ring. Apparently, they will not come to blows. This is going to be a peaceful and calm interaction between these factions that totally don't hate each other. Very much looking forward to this to see what kind of promos they cut against each other in ring. And if it does, in fact, not come to blows, I will personally be very impressed. We've got Brian Cage with Taz and Ricky Starks versus Hangman Page. This will probably be the leadoff match of the night. We talked about it earlier. This has to be a Hangman win.
Be a huge match for an opening match.
Sure, but I mean, God, he's been the opener for the last month.
This could be. I feel like this could be main event quality match.
Really? I mean,
I'm not saying it will, but
I have a feeling that it's not going to be, because I think this is probably going to be the main event, in my opinion. Because
it's not for the titles, though. I'm pretty sure it's a non-title.
Oh, that's right. It doesn't say for the titles.
It's an eliminator match. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So this will earn them a title match, probably,
if they win. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it definitely could be. Yeah, this could be Team Taz's main event. You're probably right on track with that.
I believe Darby's defending too. So if Darby
so that was just announced yesterday. That Darby Allin is with Sting versus 10 and the Dark Order. 10 accepting the open challenge yesterday after the show went off the air. I'm not sure if that happened on the post show or where that happened, or on a different program, because I have a hard time watching more than just Dynamite right now because of my work schedule, but we're getting into it. We're trying to. And yesterday we did a big charity fundraiser on Ray Bay's channel, so that was a lot of fun as well. But guys, it was a very successful episode of CWE today. I thank you both for coming on. Dylan, as always, thank you for being here. Justin, do you want to shout out any of your socials or your podcasts? Let us know what you got going on right now. I can give you a moment here.
Yeah, go check out Nerds of Wrestling on Facebook. That's pretty much all y'all need to do. If you want my other social media platforms, just ask me. I have way too many to name. I have 3 podcasts coming up this week, all live on Facebook. I will be interviewing this Tuesday the Bubblegum Princess Alexia Nicole. Wednesday I'm interviewing the Punjabi Lion. And Friday the 30th, I'm interviewing Gio, a wrestler from New Jersey, as a lot of people will know him. So check those out, and those will all be live on Nerds of Wrestling Facebook.
It's a lot of fun going and watching those podcasts, because Justin will oftentimes take comments from the fans and people on the Nerds of Wrestling page to ask the wrestlers. So if you ever want your voice heard while talking to a professional wrestler from the indie scene, sometimes guys who make it up to AEW and stuff like
WWE.
that, and WWE, guys who have made it up to that level, get in there. Join the Nerds of Wrestling Facebook page, and you will see all those comments going there. We thank you guys. If they're appropriate, obviously. And Tony Khan says, great show, guys. I'll be back again. Oh, promoter of the year. You can catch us. Usually, we're early today. We are on this show at noon Eastern Standard Time every Sunday. Tony Khan, thank you so much for coming. And, if you got any contracts for announcing down there in Jacksonville, you just let me know. I'll come on down. I'll get JR right off that table. And I'll just step right in there, because, he should just stick to the barbecue sauce for now. Everybody, remember, we are streaming on Facebook, YouTube on the Bard and Cross Entertainment page, and Twitch at tbard5195. You can also find us anywhere that you find your favorite podcast. And please remember, we are not a market substitute for AEW's Dynamite. Please go see Tony. That's for you. We are not a market substitute for AEW's Dynamite. Please go watch Dynamite live every Wednesday at 8 Eastern Standard Time. And if you love podcasts, Clovercrest Media is a place for you. Visit clovercrestmedia.com for a wide selection of great shows covering sports, business, relationships, pop culture, politics, and true crime. There's 26 plus shows. I think we're closer to 30 shows now on the CMG network. And if you don't find one that you like, why not just start your own? We can help you launch your podcast for as little as $15 a month, and clovercrestmedia.com is the website. Make sure you check it out and tell your friends all about it. You can visit clovercrestmedia.com and click on the link for the latest info on your favorite CMG sports podcast, as well as blogs and video for all of the latest info. Justin, Dylan, thank you so much for joining me today for the CWE podcast. My name is Tyler Bard, and thank you all for joining us today. We will see you next time.
You're listening to the Cross'em Wrestling Entertainment Podcast.